All right, we are stepping into a dark medieval doodle world for this explainer, complete with dramatic lightning and ancient scrolls. We're going to explore some of the absolute oldest and most dangerous behaviors that threaten human society. You could even call them the literal monsters living inside our own minds.
For centuries, people have warned against 7 incredibly destructive human behaviors, famously known as the 7 deadly sins. I mean, you've definitely seen them inspire countless movies, anime, and epic fantasy stories, right? But where did they actually come from, and why do they still matter today? Well, the temptation begins right here.
Our historical fascination with these flaws goes way, way back. What you're looking at is the Tree of Vices from the 12th century. But our modern list actually started even earlier, with a 4th century desert monk who wrote down 8 dangerous, quote, evil thoughts. Later on in 590 AD, Pope Gregory I revised those ancient warnings into the famous 7 that we know today.
Section 1. Meet the 7 sins, Dante's ascending order.
First up, standing at the very peak with a giant crown, we have pride. The famous poet Dante actually ranked pride as the absolute most dangerous root of all the other sins. It's an excessive love of self, perverted into contempt for your neighbor. It completely destroys our ability to respect others as equals.
So, the crucial takeaway here? Too much ego. When a person's ego goes unchecked, it literally blinds them to their own faults. They start to think they are the absolute center of the universe.
Next up is greed, or avarice. It's a perverse attachment to material goods. This is what drives people to hoard wealth and resources far beyond what they actually need to survive, completely ignoring the needs of everyone else around them.
Then there's wrath, which is uncontrolled, unrighteous anger. And we're not just talking about being slightly annoyed here. It's a deep desire for revenge and punitive destruction. Plus, our modern survival instinct for anger is incredibly easily triggered today.
We are talking anger level max. Just think about how quickly daily, minor frustrations can escalate straight into full-blown internet screaming matches or road rage.
Moving on, envy is deeply, deeply toxic. It isn't just wanting something nice for yourself. It's a resentful sadness over the success of someone else. An envious person simply cannot be happy with their own life because they are entirely obsessed with what their neighbor has.
Lust is an intense, incredibly unhealthy obsession. At its core, it treats other human beings merely as objects to be used for personal gratification, rather than respecting them as actual complex people. Now, gluttony isn't just about eating way too much food. It represents the completely uncontrolled overindulgence, an extreme wastefulness of any pleasure. It's essentially stripping resources away from those who actually need them. Finally, we hit sloth. And let's be clear, this isn't just needing a quick nap. It's deep physical and spiritual laziness. It's absolute apathy. And it harms society because avoiding effort means that essential, useful work simply does not get done.
Section 2. The chaos they cause, a failure of self-control.
When these flaws run wild, they create massive societal breakdown. Psychologist Roy Baumeister states it perfectly. Each of the deadly sins can be seen as a failure or breakdown of self-control. You see, these ancient sins actually represent primitive survival drives for status and resources that have just gone completely unchecked.
Psychologist Lauren Nordgren explains our vulnerability to all this through the cold state versus the hot state. So when we are full and comfortable, that's a cold state, we vastly underestimate our primal drives. But when temptation actually strikes and we enter a hot state, those animal instincts totally take over.
Section 3. Antidotes and self-control, fighting the sins.
To counter all that chaos, ancient thinkers championed the 7 holy virtues: chastity, temperance, charity, diligence, kindness, patience, and humility. These essentially act as a highly practical code for moral balance. They are the direct weapons used to fight off temptation.
Here is a really cool fact. In ancient Greek, the literal translation of the word for sin is actually an archery term, meaning to miss the mark. So the goal of these virtues isn't to make you feel terrible about yourself. It's just to help you adjust your aim.
And the absolutely crucial point is this: self-control is a muscle. Research proves self-restraint is a finite resource. Yes, you can run out of it on a highly stressful day, but exactly like a physical muscle, the more you practice it, the stronger it gets.
Section 4. Embracing our human flaws. Honest self-awareness.
The ultimate goal was never some kind of impossible perfection. Understanding our human flaws is exactly what helps us grow. Recognizing the primitive animal inside of us is the very first step to building a better, more balanced self. So I'll leave you with this. Look in the mirror. Which of these ancient monsters is quietly running your life right now? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.